Hi everyone and welcome back to Take 5. One of the ways organizations build trust with stakeholders is ensuring people, assets and processes are well protected everywhere and every day. I am delighted to be here with Pacific Zone Senior Cybersecurity Officer Asaf Ahmad and Pacific Security Manager Paul Birchenough, who both bring a combination of expertise, passion and learn everyday mindset to our organization. Security has never been more prominent in organizations than it is today, Paul. Why is that, and what are the different aspects we need to be aware of?
Yeah, security has never been more prominent, and the simple answer is that the risks have never been higher. The attacks and the attempted breaches that we're seeing have never been more sophisticated, they've never been more regular, and the people and groups behind them have never been more skilled and more organised. And then on top of that, when you factor in our new ways of working, so with all the remote work, the number of connected devices we use to do our work, there is so many new vulnerability points that the risk is higher. And the level of exposure and potential impact from these breaches has also never been higher. We've seen some very high profile recent incidents that illustrate that point. So the need for security has never been higher, as the risk has never been greater.
So I guess Asaf, within that framework, Paul's certainly elaborated, what can happen here. Now, what are the obligations between us and the relationship between us as an organization, us as individuals, to see how this can match from a security and governance perspective? What are our obligations here?
I think for Schneider takes cybersecurity very seriously because a threat can have very serious consequences for us, for our reputation, for our customers. What I feel is that the most important thing which Schneider does is establish a cybersecurity culture within the organization. It runs cybersecurity awareness programs for all staff. And because cybersecurity is everyone's responsibility. And everybody should be educated enough within Schneider to find out what are the threats and what are the controls in place to follow.
We also operate within frameworks. So what are the obligations from a regulatory perspective and a standards perspective to make sure that we're on task and ahead of the game?
See, we have implemented international standards, both for digital IT and for our products, for ISO 2701 and IEC 62443. And we have obtained certification for that. And that's a proof that we have implemented them to the best, to the way they have published the standard for. So getting that kind of compliance is not easy. We got to build security in everything, for all our processes, and test and check and reassure. And that basically establishes our commitment.
So we've learned today about the framework, the threat vectors and everything else that's going on externally. And we've certainly seen, as you said, Paul, some examples externally. But what are the consequences? Whether it's accidental or not, what are the consequences for us?
Consequences can obviously vary depending on the type of breach, to inconsequential to being catastrophic. Bringing companies to a halt. And if we're talking critical infrastructure, like some of our customers work in that space, we can shut down a whole city. So we're talking catastrophic effects. And I think it's really important to highlight that those catastrophic effects can come from a really simple, accidental, or maybe, just a lack of focus, simple thing like clicking a link on an email where you don't know who it's from, allowing someone else to come into the building who you don't know. All of a sudden they're on our network and the snowball effect happens really, really quickly, and we can see some of those disastrous breaches happen. So it's just really important that we stay vigilant.
So it's good to maybe also talk about some of the things that are done well. We can talk about what happens when it doesn't, but it's also good to reflect on some of the positive things and practices that we have here. Maybe Asaf and Paul, do you have any examples you'd like to share?
What Paul mentioned about access control, which is both for physical and for IT and systems. So we have implemented a very good access control process, and which starts from onboarding till the person's terminated. It's very important that we onboard correctly, give him the right devices, and also to terminate and get all the devices back. And his account is closed the day he leaves. And the other thing is that with a proper access control mechanism in place and a kind of an incident detection system with a response plan which is very well tested, we will be able to detect incident or illegal access or even insider threats.
So thank you, Asaf and Paul, for unpacking what is a very serious topic, and one that is something that, if we don't get right, has serious consequences for us as individuals, us as an organization, and equally for our clients if we get it wrong. So it's super important we take this so seriously. I feel a lot better from speaking to these two gentlemen that we've got the right initiatives and the right process around, but it's up to all of us to make sure we carry this with the same mindset and awareness and culture of security in all its dimensions, because we're only as good as our weakest link. We're only as good as that mistake that we may choose, whether it be accidental or not, that protects us, protects our people, and protects our customers and our business.